Hey guys, Gene here with Firesprint.com, and I'm at firesprint.com/QR code. Now you can go here and get this free QR code generator. It is designed for wide format printing, for printers to be able to set up a QR code that you know is going to scan after you print it. We've tested it on some of our oldest printers here, and this print quality metric score here is really effective for us here at Firesprint, especially on a black QR code with a white background. If you're not interested in how any of this works, just go to firesprint.com/QR code, and this is the end of your video. Otherwise, I want to get into it just a little bit and explain what I've learned when I kind of set this up, and the little bit, I know just this much about QR codes, and I want to share that with you guys. It is really all based on, in terms of print quality, it's all based on the module size. So that's like this little square here, the size of that square. So in here, it's 0.77 millimeters. If this is printed at a 1-inch QR code square, you know, tiny little guy there like that. These are going to be 0.77 millimeters, and that's going to give us a good print quality. You can see if I go up to 2 inches, we're going to get an excellent print quality. It's going to double the size of that module, and with an excellent print quality, it's going to print on just about any printer across just about any substrate reasonably well. Now, how do we control the module size? Well, there's a few things. The obvious one is just make your QR code huge, right? So a 4-inch QR code or an 8-inch QR code. But what if we can't do that? What if we have to stay in that 1-inch QR code range? Well, the first thing I would say is you need to get your content as short as possible. So the shorter the content, the less that has to fit into this code. So if we take firesprint.com here and I copy and paste that a couple of times, you can see just doubling the length of that QR code made this quite a bit more complex. We went from a 0.77 millimeter to a 0.69 millimeter. So the longer the URL, the more content they've got to fit into the QR code. Okay. The next thing that we can do is the error correction. So higher error correction, or very high error correction, you can see makes it a little more complicated, but the more error correction, the more the QR code can misread before it just can't read it at all. So a very high error correction has what I think is 30% error correction. I don't know exactly what that means. A low error correction, I believe, is a 5% error correction. Again, you can see the lower the error correction, the bigger the module size, but the more accurate the QR code has to be. With very high error correction, you know, kind of a bad scan or maybe a little bit of missing corner or something like that is more likely to still scan, perhaps. So we can adjust that error correction. Setting the error correction low gives us bigger module size, better print. You're kind of weighing that scale back and forth there. Of course, we've got the size, and then finally, we want a really good high contrast. That's why we do like black on white. If we go into a low contrast color, you're going to have a better module size, bigger QR code for that to really be sure that that's going to scan. So that's what I have learned about QR codes. This tool is going to tell you if you're going to get a good print on a QR code, at least for a wide format printer. Again, if you're printing it on a laser printer or something like that, it's probably too conservative. You can probably get away with the fair. So if we kind of see what that looks like, maybe we'll go to high, very high, and we get to fair. This is probably going to work on a screen or a laser printer or something like that. But if you're going wide format, you really want to stay in that good to excellent range to make sure that that's going to print correctly. I hope this helps you solve your QR code problems. If you're having problems printing QR codes, again, firesprint.com/QR code, totally free. We're here to help. Reach out anytime. I'm Gene. Thanks for watching.